Good afternoon. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Friday the 13th edition of the Dream Wager on this beautiful day in the middle of August. You know, our man Dylan is down in Maryland today, so Joey D here, reporting for duty, and I'm joined by Elvis, the guru to end all gurus. How we doing, my man?
It's a scorcher, Joe. I'm gonna be honest. If you're not from Jersey, Google the temps. Something is hot, but other than that, Joe, doing all right.
Yeah, man, that's absolutely right. There's a lot to get into today across all major sports, so Elvis, I would like to just start with your opinion on some breaking news in the NFL. The Houston Texans have released Deshaun Watson. What does that mean for his specific future?
I'm gonna be honest, Joe. Earlier, episodes during football season, I said this might be the end of Deshaun Watson. It might just be the end. I thought they was gonna force him to sit out for a year. That's what I honestly thought. And then I thought maybe they could pull off a trade. Maybe the Jets might have signed before the draft. Didn't. And now I'm just shocked they released him and they can get nothing for him. That's what I'm more shocked about. Texas, you saw my man Mac Jones play yesterday. Could have sent us something. He didn't have to release him. He
Yeah,
would have given you Mac Jones. First round pick, second round pick, it don't matter. Would have given you signed. But I'm just shocked personally that the Texans ain't want nothing for him in return. That's what I'm most shocked about.
yeah.
For his future, I think he wants to sign for with a contender. Which team is willing to take that chance? Is it this season, next season? Who knows?
It's funny you brought that point up because they should have got some. You got all other teams, like when you have media representatives talk about, hey, certain teams passed up on Deshaun Watson, they passed up on Pat Mahomes. You would think that, the investment they took on Deshaun Watson, they should get something for the man, but I guess they just wanted to cut ties entirely there. They don't want to have none of bad image, which is kind of already a black cloud kind of floating already over the Houston Texans organization as a whole. So I thank you for that because that kind of brings me to the next question, which was, do you believe does that organization, the Houston Texans, do they have a plan to acquire another QB?
Plan. Go 0-17. That's your plan. I'm gonna be honest. I think they're about to be one of the worst teams in football, to be honest. And I don't see them getting a quarterback that's interested in going there for any amount of money. I think they're gonna have to draft somebody either upcoming draft or 2 years from now and snag somebody and hope they want to stay. Because I'm gonna be honest, that's not a great franchise. You had JJ Watt talk, a little bad about them. You had the great Andre Johnson talk a little bad about them. You had DeAndre Hopkins even come out, said some words about the
And these aren't
Texans.
big talkers. They don't normally
Yeah, they're
bring
not
their
big
emotions
talkers,
to
and these are
media.
borderline. You know, Andre Johnson is going to be a Hall of Famer. So Hopkins, he never talks, and he even has some words to say about this team. So
That's true.
who's gonna, those are players they look up to. So why wouldn't they take their advice or at least listen to them?
Yeah,
So
they're at least
I don't
Hall
know. I
of
think
Famers for the organization.
yeah,
I feel for those players though that are currently playing for the team because now you look at the head coach, you look now they totally released Deshaun Watson. Like we talked about, they don't necessarily have a plan. It seems to even acquire a QB for this year. It's like they're already chalking the season up. They're going to tank this season away. So I feel for all the players that are doing it for their families, are somewhat doing it for one another on the team there, but that's about as far as that goes. There's no chance of winning on that team this year, and I think that's a shame. I think they're
yeah.
doing a disservice to those players, to be
I'm gonna
honest
be
with you.
honest. I don't think that's gonna be a winning franchise for the next few years, Joe.
I think it'll be hard to come over this little hump right here. So,
Yeah.
hey, that was the AFC South. Let's kind of stick with the South, but we're going to transition to the NFC, man. And we've been doing our two-a-day, so I'd like to just stick with that. We're going to go with the Panthers to start us off. I see here their win total for the season, for some futures here is a 7.5. I know over is kind of a long shot, but that's plus 110. We got under at minus 134. So me, I'm thinking this team is a fringe team. If there's no more 500 clubs, I always like mentioning that. But I think this team can actually play a good part. If they open up week one against the Jets, maybe they start off strong with the win. And I know it's a chance here, but at plus money, plus 110, I think you have a sneaky team that's going to be trying to fight for the playoffs. I think Sam Darnold did not get his total worth at the Jets organization, which I think, was kind of shameful on that part. And I think now with the head coach, with the owner, one of the richest in the league, they've made a lot of good moves in the offseason. I think he comes rejuvenated, and I think this could be a competitive ball club. Not to say that they're going to make the playoffs because I don't like that. The odds I see here for making the playoffs, though juicy, plus 270, I think it's a long shot. they're pretty much guaranteed to miss the playoffs because that's minus 310, 320 I'm seeing. So I'm going to go over, though. I'm thinking that they could kind of be competitive for maybe the last wild card spot at plus 110 over 7.5 games. I think I might get burned with that half, but let's think that they can get 8 or 9 and kind of be competitive in that division. So that's my play. I'm picking for the Panthers there. And Dylan, our man, is not here today, but I'll go ahead and just give what he's got for the Panthers. And he's doing a player prop. I don't think he liked exactly what I was explaining with terms of the making or missing of the playoffs or the total over and under. So he'll be taking a player prop of, hey, he's back. Christian McCaffrey over 1,200.5 rushing yards at minus 112. And I think mainly because Dylan explained here is he receives about 90% of the touches when healthy. And guess what? Run CMC, he's coming into this season healthy. You know, I like that pick. I would actually lean with it because if there's also something you can get like all-purpose yards for the man, he's gonna get a lot of receiving yards out of the backfield as well.
A lot of receiving yards, a lot of yak yards too.
He's gonna be Sam Darnold's best friend this upcoming season.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true. So a little bit of caveat for you guys. Dylan also is going to be taking the Panthers -4 as a lock week 1 against his Jets, which is surprising to me. But
against his Jets, wow.
He's a realist, I guess. He sees what I guess people see. You got to be honest about your own team and stuff like that. So that's what I got for him and myself. What do you got, Elvis?
I'll be honest, y'all be rolling with you. I just think this team, they're just gonna be good enough. I highly doubt they'll make the playoffs, but I think this team, if it was back to 16 games, it'll be possibly an 8-8 team.
Yep.
And that's what I got them. I think they'll end up the season at 8-9. I think they're a pretty good team, but not good enough to get over the hump. Like you said, Sammy D, I think he'll be much better with the Panthers, better receiving core, and then with Christian McCaffrey, he might just be the best running back in the game. So it's kind of hard not to, have a great season with the best running back in the backfield. So arguably the best running back in the league. So with that being said, I'm gonna be honest, I love the plus money too. So I took the over 7.5. I just think they're gonna win 8 games, and I would lean the over with Christian McCaffrey too, Dylan. I'm gonna be honest, I'll lean because him healthy,
offense is running through him.
Yeah, he's gonna run through him.
Not only fantasy wise, but also he run blocks well. He's very educated.
He's the best running back in the game, bro. He's like a lot of people say him, Derrick Henry, and I can't argue it. But Christian McCaffrey, he's just a stud, man. He's gonna go out and perform every week, week in and week out. So I understand why he's going with the over.
Yeah, you and I both like plus money when we see it, and I do think that half game is kind of is on burn notice right there. It could burn a lot of people, but Vegas knows something there. That's why they put those half lines because they can have.
And I think towards the end of the season, their schedule gets real tough.
Yes.
So they might be able to start off 2-0, 3-0. Who knows? I think they got the Jets, Saints, and Texans.
Some winnable games. Those are some winnable games. That's for sure.
And then week 1 also got the Panthers -4.
Taking the Panthers -4?
Yeah, I think that's a lock.
All right. Exactly. Yeah, Sammy D seeing his old team. That could be some motivation right there for him. So I like that little play right there for week 1. Let's go and transition right over to the Falcons, man. We're sticking with our tour-a-days, and here I saw a solid number at 7 for the Falcons. Now, you told me, on the other hand, that you saw the 7.5 as well.
Yeah, I got it at 7.5.
7.5. So that means people were taking over when it was at 7 solid, correct?
Yeah, I would.
I don't know. I like the coach. I like Arthur Smith a lot. I think that was a good hiring, and I think the offense could kind of be a full tilt kind of offense. But defensively, I don't think they improved really. I don't think the pass rush was like ranked at the bottom 3 last year. That hurts a lot. You need to get to the quarterback in this league in this day and age, and they're going to be calling a lot of shootouts, and they're not going to be able to make up for that in terms of scoring points on the opposite side of the ball. They're going to have to rely on their offensive line. I don't think they also have the run game to control the clock either. So, I think it's kind of a lock here. Under 7 wins. I don't see Falcons actually winning that many games this year. I think they're going to be a bottom-tier club. I guess you could say that's controversial, what I'm saying here. But I have over 7 games at -115 and the under at -105. So it's close to plus money, and I'll be sticking with the under 7 at -105. Also, to make the playoffs is at plus 290. That's a reach. I don't think there's any way that they make the playoffs as opposed to the Panthers. I think actually will be a competitive ball club with actually having improved weapons offensively and a pretty solid defense. And what I would say, I think I like the coach there. as opposed to the missing the playoffs at minus 360. I don't know if you want to sprinkle anything on there, but I would take it honestly in this, because I think it's a lock. I don't think there's a chance they make the. I
Yeah,
think
but
they're
it
going to
ain't
be a
really
bottom
worth
three
it
team.
unless you about to dump on it.
Yeah, you're going to dump on it.
You're
That's
gonna
the
wait
thing.
all season for that?
No, that's why I would definitely shy away from that. But I'm going to rock with the under on the win. So both these teams, I'm rocking with the win totals because I see a little more confidence with there. And Dylan, I think Dylan's also kind of with me in that because he doesn't have a win total. He doesn't have a make or miss playoffs. What he's also riding with is a player prop. And you and I both got a little something here. So the one player prop I got for Dylan is Kyle Pitts at 11-1 to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. You know, the man's already coming in NFL ready. You know, he's going to have a previous NFL MVP quarterback with Matt Ryan throwing him the ball. He's going to be filling the shoes somewhat of Julio Jones, though he'll be lined up at the tight end position. Don't be surprised if they run him out wide a little bit, because I think he is just that talented. And so with that being said, Dylan also wanted to go ahead and have Kyle Pitts over 7 touchdown receptions at minus 120. So actually 2 little player props on Kyle Pitts there. I think there's some confidence with the 4th overall draft pick of this past season. Dylan, what was the other one?
Dylan loved them coming out.
Yeah. What else do you got for him?
He has Calvin Ridley under 10 touchdowns, 10 receiving touchdowns at minus 120.
Wow.
He had 10.
Exactly 10, I think.
He had 10 last season, and then 7 and 9 in the 3 previous seasons. And it's a pass-heavy league, but Dylan thinks the numbers are too high. 10 touchdowns is a little too high for Calvin Ridley. He thinks Kyle Pitts is going to come in and dominate, which I feel him. Yeah. And I'm going to be honest, Calvin Ridley hasn't really stood healthy throughout the whole season.
That's why, though, I think partly due to those 10 touchdowns, in like the first 3 games, he had about 6 of them, 7 touchdown receptions.
That's the thing. I think he will get touchdowns, but is he going to be healthy throughout the whole season to receive them?
We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, and Dylan, like you said, is big on Kyle Pitts, so he thinks Kyle Pitts is going to take most of the shine. And why not? I feel like he deserves it. He's NFL ready. He's big. He might arguably a top 5 tight end already in the league without even taking a snap in the game. So
it's crazy.
I can see why Dylan will take him under. 10 touchdowns is pretty high.
It is high. That is high. And Calvin Ridley, I don't think necessarily lines up on the outside. He's more of a slot guy.
Yeah, he's more of a slot guy, but he be running. He be out running guys, so he will catch a few deep.
That's true.
He will catch a few.
Let's hope he stays healthy, because that'll be a surprise. But I think I'm pretty confident in riding with Dylan, what he's seeing on that. So that's for sure. And from what I see here, man, just to end it with Dylan's picks, because I don't have any preseason plays for the NFL. Do you have anything that you like possibly for the preseason?
I still got to say my Falcons over under now. I still got to say my play.
Let's go. Let's see what you got.
For the season, the over under is 7.5. And I'm going to be honest, I don't see that happening. I'll be taking the under at plus 110. I'm going to be honest.
Plus money?
This defense was plus 110 under. Whew, gotta love it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. This team was the worst defense last season. Even worse than the Cowboys, which I thought was horrendous.
Surprising, yeah.
But, yeah. I don't think they'll be able to do it. Yeah, they got Kyle Pitts. Their offense might be able to put up numbers, but I don't think that defense is in the back half going to be able to secure a win. Yeah, if you could win a game 42-35, hey, all to you, but I don't think they'll be able to do that consistently. And then you got Tampa in the division. That's 2 automatic losses. And I feel like they'll be able to – honestly, I think the Saints might beat them twice, if not split, and definitely splitting with the Carolina. So that right there is 4 or 5 losses.
I think there's a lot of question marks in that division, man. A lot of moving parts. A lot's going on outside of the Buccaneers. That's for sure.
And Dylan got preseason picks. My man's a degenerate, man.
Yeah, I couldn't have the confidence in doing it just yet. Maybe give me week
last
3
week,
or 4.
On the Hall of Fame game, I said the under. So, but
that seemed like a lock.
Yeah.
What I see here we got 2 games actually that he's taken. We got for tonight is a Friday game. He's taking the under 40 points at minus 110 in the Cowboys at Cardinals game, and I think that's smart. The Cowboys are going to score 3 points there, and I don't think the Cardinals' offense is going to be all that put together, especially where they're not going to be starting Kyler Murray. They're not going to be putting any of the starters into play. So you're going to see a lot of backups, a lot of role players just coming in and try to get their limelight. Hey, but you never know. Maybe we get like a Victor Cruz situation where we see a guy break out. That's we always like seeing something like that.
Now, I'm going to be honest. After that whole, like Dylan said, he said Cowboys only scored 3 points on the Hall of Fame game. They're not it. They just Zeke not playing, Dak not playing. None of the receivers are playing. Nope. And I'll be honest, they have Ben DiNucci out there. I'm not going to disrespect my man Ben DiNucci on on YouTube Live or none of that. But let's just say he's not the best position player on the field.
Yeah,
Let's just say
I like that.
so, with Ben DiNucci taking most of the snaps, which I think he will. I don't see them putting up more than 10 points. Cowboys alone.
Alone, yeah.
So I think that's a lock.
My bet I got for Saturday, he's liking the Ravens in this spot. -2.5, I see at -105. And a surprising statistic he threw out: Ravens actually own a 17-game preseason win streak. That's just
it's just
unheard of.
I don't even know that's possible.
Like, yeah, how do you win 17 consecutive games?
Like, I don't even know they go on playing like, yeah, we about to go undefeated this preseason. No, they just do it.
Yeah. maybe they make it a point. Maybe they want to win out the preseason, stuff like that, because that shows that they're depth. You know, they have good role players. They got good bench guys. So
I wonder what was their preseason record. My man Joe Flacco led them.
Oh man, 17 games. That's got to be about 4 or 5 seasons, right? About undefeated preseasons, 4 or 5, right?
Yeah, 4 seasons. Yeah. If it's
4 games apiece, about. Yeah,
four games a season, 16.
So, man, I think we had a great conversation there in the NFL. We pretty much covered everything involving our tour days with the NFC South. We even brought a little bit of information from Deshaun Watson's camp there and also some preseason play. So let's stick in the play world, but this time we're going to segue into combat sports. Because last week we had the UFC, and all the promotions stayed away from them. It was a pay-per-view, no ONE FC, no PFL playoffs, no Bellator. Man, we just had nothing going on besides the UFC last week, and now that the UFC's not on this week, we got all the promotions coming back in full force. So, quickly, everything was going to be going on tonight. It's a Friday spectacular events. I think we got the PFL playoffs in the first one back, Bellator, and let's start it off with the ONE FC. So, Battleground 2 is taking place tonight, and I'll just start with, of course, 3 fights. Quick little 3 fights for you. I don't know if you're going to be able to get some bets out there, but just a little insight to what's going on. The first fight that I'm going to be touching in ONE FC is Thomas Narmo against Alain Ngalani. And, man, you like Ngalani because I think the dude is just one of the most spectacular athletes on the planet. And he can get a knockout here. I just see it coming. He swarms his opponents. He does get rather tired. He's got to carry a lot of muscle going into possible later rounds, but I think he would get the job done here. So I'll be taking Alain Ngalani at the money line, of course. And then next fight, you got Alex Silva, Brazilian, taking on Mid Lao Tao. Dude, I'm gonna take Alex Silva. I think I look at his record; he's way more of a veteran and has more experience in the ring, in the cage, in the octagon. Whatever the case may be, the dude has been there, done that. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. So I just have confidence in that grappling aspect. Also, I think the dude can strike with the best of them. So Alex Silva money line, I think, is kind of a smart, safe bet. And then we're going into the main event here. We got Zhang Li Peng taking on Edward Fuliang, and I just got to roll with who was Zhang Li Peng. The other guy was Edward Fuliang. And as much as Edward Fuliang throws some amazing strikes, and we've seen him in the past in the Philippines and all that stuff, Thailand throwing out good stuff, this taking place in Singapore. And I like the hometown dude. I like Li Peng. I think he's going to get the job done. He doesn't have to go that far. Traveling wasn't an issue at all. You just got to kind of have the confidence there because it did burn me last time I had the ONE FC picks. I was choosing a foreign guy coming into Singapore, and, man, the champ lost his belt there. So let me take Zhang Li Peng with money line because I just think it's a safe, confident bet with that as well. I just had to go over ONE FC real quick. Now let's go into the PFL playoffs. They're back, man. We haven't seen this organization for a little bit, and I think we had a little bit of withdrawals going on, but they're back, and they're going to be going on every week now that's the playoff season. So we're going to start off with the main card, and I got a little play for you. First one, Loic Radzhabov is taking on Alexander Martinez, and they actually fought previously, and Alexander Martinez got the best of him in a split decision, and I think he can actually one-up his previous performance. So I'll be taking Alexander Martinez at the money line, plus 130. I think he's a live dog here. Man, he already got a win over Radzhabov, so what's to say that Radzhabov is going to go ahead and become victorious this time around when, like I said, Martinez did get the better of him, and I think he's going to improve on this performance. So Martinez money in line at plus 130, I think, is a smart bet. And the next fight, a lot of people are riding this guy, and I think to the finals, but I don't think he gets past his opponent. Cassius Clay Collard, everyone's riding him in. He's got tremendous boxing. He's kind of a cult hero in that regard, but he's taking on Raush Manfio. And if you look at their performances against Anthony Pettis, They both fought the same guy, Anthony Pettis. We're all riding Anthony Pettis, making the playoffs, possibly being the champ there. Man, he didn't even come close. He lost to both these guys. But in Clay Collar's point, Clay Collard had the great box in the first and second round, but almost got finished in the third by Anthony Pettis. Against Roush Manfield, Manfield finished him in the third round. So I just think Roush Manfield is a better athlete. You know, he carries a lot of muscle and stuff like that. But I just think he's an explosive dude. And I'm actually scared for Clay Collard in the later rounds. It seems Roush Manfield gets stronger as he gets to the later rounds. So I'll be taking Roush Manfield money line at plus 136. Another live dog I'm looking at. And a last-minute replacement, Sadabusi, is going to be taking on Magomed Karamov. And, man, I'm rolling with the favorite. I think the last-minute replacement won't really mean anything because Magomed Karamov just has amazing wrestling. These Dagestanian guys, they come in and they just tear house down. So Magomed Karamov is going to take down Sadabusi Sai. Even though the kicks Sadabusi Sai has are tremendous and he throws in from weird angles and stuff like that, one kick up high that misses, man, you're vulnerable for a takedown, and that's what Karamov is going to take advantage. So Magomed Karamov, money line at minus 335 because that's the only way you can bet it. I think he's the only favorite I'll be picking as well because, man, do we have probably one of the biggest fights in PFL history, honestly, as we got Ray Cooper III, defending welterweight champ, taking on previous welterweight champ Rory MacDonald. And, man, a lot of people are riding with the Red King here. They're taking Rory MacDonald. He's an odds-on favorite at the moment. But, dude, I like what I've been seeing out of Cooper III, man. Ray Cooper III is champ currently. He's been burning through the Grand Prix, not the Grand Prix, pretty much the tournament and to the playoffs. Now that they were here, once they get past this one, they'll be fighting for the final, and it will be crowned champion again. And I think Cooper III is going to repeat because he was last year's tournament champion. So let's take Ray Cooper III money line at plus 112. Another live dog I'm thinking here. You know, PFL always has a bunch of surprises, so I just like
PFL. I hear you talk a lot about PFL. It always seems you come back on Monday's show like, well, judges fucked me again.
We're gonna have it at across promotions, you know, even in one and Bellator, and forget, you know, we've been talking heavily about the UFC benefactors there, and we just think that judging can definitely, you know, improve. And I think where that could start, honestly, is if they, you know, I want to shout out our guys, Verdict Global Scorecard and Verdict MMA, because what they do is tremendous and it helps, and I think it can only help the judging aspect of the sport. So let's get that involved more because that's what the PFL is doing. They involve Verdict. So going right into Bellator, we got 264 here. It's a pay-per-view technically for them, where it's headlined by Gegard Mousasi, who is the current middleweight champ, going against John Salter. And I'll just start it off in the main card because we got Ty Guerder taking on Kadzi Bestayev. And everyone's liking what they're seeing out of young, youthful Ty Guerder, but I think he's going to get taken advantage of. I think you're going to get the best of Bestayev. Money line, plus 205. I think the dude's going to come in here with this point to prove. And they both got one loss on their record, so I think this is going to be a good one here. I think they're throwing a lot of good fights, actually, Bellator, for this one. So, surprisingly so, I'm taking Kadzi Bestayev money line at plus 205. Another live dog. But here's where I'll be transitioning going with the favorite, because Davion Franklin, I think, is just, you know, he's a bull in a china shop, man. Everett Cummings is a tough dude. He's just 3 inches shorter than Davion Franklin at the heavyweight division. I think that makes a lot of difference. So I'll be going with the larger, more athletic Davion Franklin money line at minus 235. I think he can actually get in there and get a knockout. So don't be surprised if that happens. And that was a favorite there. But going right back to the well with the live dogs, man, we got Magomed Magomedov. You like these names, right? Magomed Magomedov is taking on Rafion Stotts. And, man, everyone loves Magomed Magomedov here. He is a heavy, heavy favorite. He has great kicks, great wrestling, all that stuff. But, dude, I'm like the live dogs that I'm seeing this weekend. And Rafion Stotts, just like Magomed Magomedov, only one loss on the record, just like we talked about a previous fight here. I just think he's a live dog, man. I think he's actually going to wind up. I think the athleticism is going to come into play. I think he's going to catch him with the overhand. And I'm taking Stotts here. I'm taking a chance. I think this is a bigger chance than more of the other dogs that I've picked for this weekend. But Rafion Stotts coming in at plus 330 moneyline underdog is going to make you a lot of money if he comes out victorious. So I'm going to roll with that, young man. Yeah, dude. And, man, an interesting one here. I'm going to be riding with the favorite, of course, but you got Andrei Koreshkov taking on Sabah Homasi. And Sabah Homasi has been surprising everyone. He's actually on a 3-fight win streak taking on Andrei Koreshkov. But Koreshkov is just, man, he a killer's row of that division. So I just think once you get to fight that dude, you're in for it because the next step for him possibly is fighting for a title. So I'm going to be taking a favorite, Andrei Koreshkov, money line at minus 410. There was no other way to bet it. So the heaviest favorite on the card I'm going to be taking because I just think he's that good.
Yeah,
So,
if you can find some odds out there to take them by decision, something to juice it just a little bit.
just a little bit.
It.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly right, man. And I know you'd want to be involved in this stuff. We're not in UFC just yet. We're gonna have to wait a week until then. But let's go into the.
What's good with that? What's good
I
with
think
that?
they just wanted to let these guys, all the other promotions try to catch up because they put on great fights and stuff like that. But it was their time to shine now that the UFC took a week off. Because other than that, they're gonna be on every single week. So I think it was smart for them to avoid the pay-per-view and then come out strong with no UFC event this week. And the main event of Bellator 264, like I mentioned, is Gegard Mousasi. Show me the money against John Salter. And I don't think John Salter has a shot here because I think Gegard Mousasi is going to easily win this fight and go challenge the 205 belt, where Joel Romero actually got cleared to compete there. So let's see what happens in the 205-pound weight class. But as for the 185, I think it's Gegard Mousasi's division. I don't think he's going to lose that belt for a while. And I'll be taking him money line at minus 300. Show me the money, bitches. That's Gegard Mousasi, man. He's a killer, bro. I think in the UFC they didn't give him the fair shot. That dude easily could have been champion in there, but he ran into a tough couple of fights, and man, as soon as he got inserted into Bellator, champ immediately, and the rest is history. Because I think he's one of the more exciting fighters that they have. So, Gegard Mousasi money line minus 300. And that pretty much does it for the combat sports side of it all. And actually, everything's going to be taking place today. Friday. Surprisingly so. Nothing on Saturday. So we got a loaded today.
No fights tomorrow.
No fights tomorrow. Nope. We're just going to have a little preseason NFL action and maybe a little MLB and stuff like that. And speaking of the MLB, let's transition right to that because last night we saw the Field of Dreams game on a cornfield in Iowa last night between the New York Yankees and the Chicago White Sox. And man, the White Sox, they walked it off with a Tim Anderson homer. Yeah, Joe Buck on the call. Kevin Costner had an appearance from the original movie. And balls hit into the corner were home runs, as we saw in that walk-off. So, Elvis, did you actually get a chance to watch it at all?
Yeah, man. It was a great game. Some people calling it the game of the year. I was a little, Jose Abreu hit a home run in the first inning. I was like, yeah, let's go. And then the Yankees come right back, 3-run home run. I'm like, damn, it's getting scary. Then when White Sox came back, took a lead. Then late, I didn't catch the late. I felt, it was already bedtime for me.
That's right, yeah. I like the uniforms, man. It was I like the whole experience of they came walking through the corn. The players did.
And I'll be honest, I'm surprised how loud it was in there, too.
Yeah. I think the way the park was set up, like they designed it that way.
They did a great job.
Great job. I thought it was a good event that they did. And, a lot of people were complaining. They're like, oh, how could this not be staged? They walk it off in the last inning and stuff like that. But no, it was a hard-fought contest. If you really watched the game, the bullpens were getting beat up. And that's just what happens. When you get into that, the walk-off innings, man, you've seen the pictures. And, man, Tim Anderson's a beast, man. He was getting to them all game, to be honest. The balls were flying out of that ballpark.
Flying. I don't know if the air out thinner out there or something, but the ball flying. I was like, damn. Even like Jose Abreu's home run, I was like, damn, that went over.
It went over. I think the right field, the left field was like 330. So it was like a Yankee Stadium kind of deal going on there.
The thing. Yankees kind of the home team there because Yankees was only 317.
That's right.
Anybody can hit it out in Yankee Stadium.
So let's give some plays for today, man. I'm going to simply start with your Red Sox because at 7-10, Baltimore is going to Fenway and taking on the Boston Red Sox. Baltimore Orioles, I don't think really have a shot in this one. And I feel comfortable taking the Boston Red Sox minus the half a run in the first 5 at minus 155. I'll try to squeeze as much as I can out of it because right now the money line favorite for them, they're like minus 200 plus.
Damn. Yeah. Right now on the Red Sox, I took, my man Nick Pineda's on the mound. So I'm rolling with you, Joe. I took the minus 1.5 at minus 135. I'm gonna be honest. We've been a little shaky since the break, but I think we just gotta step up. I think it's time to heat
especially
back up
in your
now.
division.
Yeah, I think we gotta take care of the Orioles. We gotta sweep them, and then just come out strong. We gotta come out against the Jays, come out against the Yankees,
That's right.
Come out against. Because lately we've been slipping. I'll be the first to say we've been slipping a little bit.
Hey, I still have confidence in your club, man. They're gonna be competing for that.
And I'm gonna keep rolling with it. I'll be going with St. Louis Cardinals and Royals. I'll be taking the Cardinals tonight. My man Jack Fletcher. Wait, how you pronounce his name? Flaherty?
Jack Flaherty?
Yeah, my man Jack Flaherty pitching tonight. And I'm gonna be honest, St. Louis is doing better.
Yeah.
Doing better. Sub 500 team, but lately they're playing a little better. And I'm gonna be honest, the Royals is just a mess.
Royals have been a mess.
can't put money note behind the Royals, so I'll be taking St. Louis tonight at -140 on the money
What
line.
time of game was that again?
8:15, 8:10,
8:10 game.
8:10.
All right. You got
Good
anything
evening.
more?
Prime time. I got Tampa against the Twins.
Okay.
I'll be taking Tampa on the money line at -165. The line kind of went up a little bit, so it's on my side. Tampa's just been hot, man. I'm gonna be honest, kind of worried. I think they're gonna run away with the division. Hope not.
Surprisingly so. They seem to always like pick it up in the second half, man.
Every time I look up, man, we was just 1.5 last week. Now we're like 4 games back. I'm like,
how did this happen? Yeah, I honestly don't think it's the Yankees you got to worry about. I think it's more or less the Rays and maybe even the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I'll be honest. We might be the best division in baseball.
Absolutely, I would say. I would definitely say that.
He said the
NFC NL East.
NL East is the best division. I was like,
everyone healthy, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. So what are you thinking in the next game? Because I know you got something else.
Yeah. My last game of the night would be the Houston Astros versus the Angels. I'm gonna be honest. Yesterday I took the Angels. My man Ohtani. I know your boy. I know you love your boy Ohtani.
Yeah, that's right.
Put on the money. He's actually dominated yesterday, but today Zach Greinke on the mound can't go against
him. Yep.
Can't go. And now Angels say got Patrick Sandoval pitching.
Every time I see that, I think it's Pablo. Every time I see the P. Sandoval.
Every time, yeah.
But, like Kung Fu Panda's on the mound.
Yeah, he ain't Pablo.
No.
So I'll be taking the Houston Astros at money line at -144.
Smart. I think that's a safe bet, man, because I'm gonna be touching the 9:40 game. San Diego's going to Arizona, taking them on, and I'm simply just gonna take San Diego money line at -189. One of the better ball clubs in the league. I just think it's also a fade with the D-backs, Baltimore Orioles, Pittsburgh Pirates. There's a couple MLB teams that just don't have it, man. So it's smart to fade them and pick some of the better ball clubs in the league. So
easy.
Yeah. So that, man, we gave a lot of picks in today's show. Hey, you got any last words before we get out of here? I think we had a nice, quick, concise show for you guys today.
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't said it in a minute, so I'm gonna say it. Yankees suck.
That was a good game, though.
Yeah, hopefully that's the results. Because when I was saying that, Red Sox was on fire.
So maybe we get it turned around again.
We win 3 in a row this weekend.
That's right.
Something.
Let's sweep the series this weekend. And that'll do us for here at the Dream Wager. You can find us on all our social media platforms at the Dream Wager. So please comment, rate, and subscribe. It'll help us out tremendously. Thank you all, and best of luck to everyone. Goodbye.